When we have no words, it gives us a way to speak. When we are still finding our way in the world, it gives us somewhere to belong. And no matter who we are or where we come from, it gives us the right to dream.
As she scores at her 5th World Cup. Alfonso Davies!
It's time to celebrate the game we love. It's time to play.
Sports can bring us together or tear us apart. But you know what never disappoints?
Shawarma?
We're making what you're craving, Osmos.
CanadaSoccerStore.com is the new home for official Canada soccer apparel and fanwear, including customized national team jerseys.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That mean you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot. Wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up.
These are the games you live for. That's what we keep hearing from both sides. The Americans are looking for revenge. The Canadians are looking to establish dominance. Tonight we'll find out who gets what they want. It's the final of the Concacaf W Championship in Monterrey, Mexico. Canada versus USA. To the victor go the bragging rights and an automatic berth to the 2024 Olympics. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside our One Soccer studio. It's Matchday Live. Annie Petrillo alongside Olympic bronze medalist. That would be Diana Matheson, and also Hall of Famer Amy Walsh joining us right here. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm pumped. How are you feeling, Diana, as somebody who's also played in some of these big matches against the USA?
I am excited for this one. I've been waiting all tournament for this game.
Yeah, we all figured it would get to this, right? Canada, USA, Amy, but now that it's come to fruition, just how are you feeling?
I think I'm just as excited as Dee, just as excited as these players to play a more free-flowing, sort of high-flying brand of soccer after playing a low blocks all tournament. More goals, more excitement.
Okay, well, we'll see about that. I mean, we were all loose, and I gotta say, I feel like the tension has kind of gotten a little tense in here. This is how excited we are with the rivalry that keeps on giving. Here's the United States starting 11, brought to you by GE Appliances. Right at the top, that's where I want to take your eye, because that's who we're going to be paying attention to. Alex Morgan, a veteran of 12 years now on this national team. She cannot stop scoring goals, Amy. This is someone who's having a great pro career this year as well, and also having a strong tournament.
She is, but she's been on the outside looking in lately with the U.S. national team coach, and gets her first nod into camp for Concacaf qualifying. So she's on fire with the San Diego Wave. She has 11 goals in 10 starts, and you see goals like this with her brace against Haiti, and she just spurs the attack for the U.S. and she leads by example. She's pacey, and she has a really lethal finish. And she just has the capacity to score big goals, whether it's in tournament play like this or friendly. And she just keeps honing her craft, honing her game. And she's a really important veteran for this team.
Well, that's exactly it, right? It's what she's able to do on the pitch, but the experience that she has as well, having played in multiple World Cups and also Olympics, being in Tokyo, ultimately getting the bronze medal for the United States. But they do have depth, D. We've been talking about turnover and rebuilding for this squad.
Yeah, and they've got depth up front, a couple younger players. We've got Sophia Smith and Mallory Pugh up front. They both got goals this tournament. Great young talent, exciting for the U.S. and great matchups against Canada's Lawrence and Riviere in the back. And this is a younger team than Canadians saw in Tokyo when Canada played them last. Emily Fox and Alana Cook, both at the back, are young stars in the NWSL. So there's this new couple faces out there for Canadians watching today.
Let's take a look now at Canada's starting 11, brought to you by GE Appliances. And one thing we're noticing with Bev Priestman is that she does have her preferred starting 11. She likes it. She's going with it once again, so really no surprises here. There is consistency. But, Dee, you want to focus on Kaylin Sheridan because you feel like this could be the game where she's the busiest.
Yeah, let's give Sheridan a shout out. We were hyping her up at the beginning of the tournament because she is now the new #1. That said, Canada was not too busy at the back those opening games. So this is the game where we're really going to get to see what she can do. You know, against the U.S., there's going to be lots of chances, cross shots, corners. And this will be hopefully a coming out party for Kaylin Sheridan against the U.S.
Just celebrated her birthday. They put out some video there of everyone singing her happy birthday. Her fiancé showed up as well. So a nice little celebration for her. You know she wants to be able to celebrate with a victory here at this tournament. But what about up front, Amy, and Janine Becky, who leads this tournament as well in shots? Do you think this could be the game? I mean, she's hoping this could be the game, right, where it really starts to break through into goals.
These are the types of games where you want to have your very best performance, and Janine Becky, I think, came out wanting in the semifinal. So I think today, expect big things from her. She leads the tournament in creating chance or goal situations. She's lethal on the flank. She has 3 assists already, so she's playing in those decisive passes, and she has the 1 goal to her name. So I would like to see Janine Becky be a little bit more selfish, a little bit more aggressive around the goal, and try to create some chances for herself. So we talked about developing partnerships. Bev Priestman has talked about it. So we see Prince and Sinclair and Becky get the nod up front there. I'd like to see more creativity with the 3 of them staying wide and creating space for Jessie Fleming. And Janine Becky driving the play on that flank is a big part of opening up those spaces in the middle of the park.
Yeah, and I'll just add too, I think let's have a look out for Vanessa Gilles today. She's been so close on headers and set pieces all tournament, and against the U.S., that is a great scoring opportunity. So I would keep my eye out for Vanessa today.
Always excited to see Canada take on the USA, right? And it doesn't take much to ignite this rivalry. There's always this low-grade flame that's burning all the time, and it explodes in big matches. This is a big match, and the captain knows that in matches like tonight on the pitch, there's no love lost.
It's always something, you know, Canada against the U.S. It doesn't seem to matter what sport it is. Once you put on your national team jersey, all those friendships are put aside for 90 minutes.
Lawrence in for Fleming! Better across the lead, Chapman forward, Chapman gets ahead to it! What a ball, what a goal!
I think there's a mutual respect amongst the teams, and like I said, a lot of us are teammates with each other in the NWSL and have played with each other overseas and things like that. So it is different than it was, say, 10, 15 years ago. But man, once those jerseys get put on, it's, you know, we're fighting for an Olympic berth. So friendships aside for a little bit.
I think they're a fresh team, and I think with a fresh team, they want to put their own stamp on the world.
More set piece defending to do, near post, ball loose, look out, Lavelle, goal.
So I think they don't want to live in the US's past, because I think it's a very different team, and they want to create their own history. So I think they're a hungry team, but it's the same for us. I think we're just as hungry and just as, not even more motivated the World Cup is coming up. Canada hasn't won a World Cup, so we're just kind of in that momentum of trying to get better.
I think as a team, we've kind of built that confidence through, the past tournaments that we've done, the Olympics especially. I feel like you see the respect from other teams. You see teams, planning back fives against us and stuff, and I think, like Bev mentioned, that's kind of a respect thing that teams have done for us. You now have a target on your back, that's inevitable, but there's definitely belief and confidence going into the finals. We have a long history with the U.S., so it's not going to be any different. I think we have an expectation of what we're meant to do in this tournament, and I think in the finals, hopefully, potentially, we'll secure that spot to the Olympics.
It definitely feels different. I think the team's going into this game more confident than ever. A great tournament, lots of goals scored and 0 conceded, so we have to be, proud of that, but we also have to recognize that the level of competition is going to go up in this game, and they'll give us challenges, we'll give them challenges, but yeah, I would definitely say we're most confident we've probably ever been going into a game against the States.
The sense that you just know that they're always going to be coming. You could be up a goal, you could be up 2 goals, but they're never going to stop. They're never going to quit. And there's a history of them scoring late in games, and the depth that they have is absolutely insane. But yeah, to beat them in an Olympic semifinal just gives us all the confidence in the world that we can do it. And I hope that the youngsters on our team don't have to wait. What did I have to wait, 15 years for it to happen again? I think what you see with them is a younger, fresher, more energetic squad. Obviously, I'm teammates with a Sophia Smith, and I think the world of her. I think her potential is limitless. Hope she doesn't have a great game. But no, I think just what you see is just the individual talent in these youngsters. I don't think they've quite completely meshed as a team yet. Obviously, they're similar to us in that, there's a ways to go until the World Cup, but they're dangerous, that's for sure.
And I wonder if it's because there are so many similarities that the rivalry is deep because of that too. You look at this tournament alone, head to head, and what they've been able to do from the exact same goals scored, not conceding any. Canada's had more shots on target, but the pass accuracy, the similarities there. There is a respect, even though you just want to crush them when you're out on the pitch. I think of Megan Rapinoe talking about, a player who hasn't been given their due at the FIFA Awards, and she had put in Christine St. Clair. I also think of Abby Wambach as well, putting out the big video and congratulating Christine St. Clair when she hit that mile mark, of course, with the international goals. So there's respect, but at the same time, it all goes out the window when you're on the pitch. Now this, I wonder though, Dee, if it is a new generation of rivalry, because even though there are some familiar faces on the United States team, it really feels like a different squad.
Yeah, I think in the long book of Canada-US women's soccer rivalry, we're in a new chapter now, for sure. I think coming off that win in Tokyo, you just see a different team in Canada. You see that core generation of players, Keidisha Buchanan, Ashley Lawrence, Jessie Fleming, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, who have beat the U.S. pretty early on in their career and are just going to be hungry for more. They're going to expect it. On the U.S. side, it's a team that's undergoing a lot of changes. It's a younger lineup, so few of them have ingrained their history of consistently beating Canada. So I think this is truly a new phase of this chapter, and arguably tonight Canada has the more experienced lineup, and they may have the edge in on-field partnerships because Bev has been a little more consistent in her lineup than Vlatko. Vlatko's really been switching it up, and we saw that even tonight with Nair starting back in goal. So I give the edge to Canada.
Where do you see the battles happening out there, Amy?
I think you're really going to have to watch what's happening on the flanks. So, maybe we get Riviere against Smith. I think that's how it lines up. And then on the opposite side, Ashley Lawrence, who is herself just a world-class fullback who doesn't get nearly enough accolades. We're talking about Christine St. Clair not getting her just due on the world stage, but Ashley Lawrence is right in that conversation against the likes of Mallory Pugh. So I think it's going to be a real battle for sort of position on the pitch, field positioning, who can get up higher and who can sort of set up camp to try to really dictate the tempo of the game, which is going to be much higher than we saw against these other teams in the round robin play and even the semifinal. And it's going to be much more physical. So as Dee was saying, this is a team now with Sinclair and Canada where I don't even think it's a different chapter. I think it's a whole other sequel. They have just this innate confidence about them since that game and since the gold medal. And it's really going to, I think, change the way this team really matches up and battles head to head.
Was it ever different for you when you were sitting in the room getting set to go out for the game, whether it was during warm-up or, you know, in the hallway waiting to actually go out there and sing the anthems? Does it feel different going up against the USA than it would any other team?
Yeah, there's always a buzz about these games. There's always an energy. There's always an edge going in. You know, you have to get yourself up to a certain level of intensity so you can compete. Sinky said it, the depth in the U.S. team is always there. I mean, they could probably field 2 teams in the World Cup. They have that much talent, and the youth is always coming up. They just have so many players and a pro league to support it. So yeah, there'll be a different energy about it tonight for sure.
Yeah. How are you feeling here, Amy?
I feel good, just like Canada. I think there's a desire to win, and there's just quiet confidence about them. I like Canada in this game.
All right, well, the moment of truth is just around the corner because we're heading to Monterrey, Mexico. It's the final in the Concacaf W Championship. The Canadians taking on the Americans. Both have already booked their ticket to the 2023 World Cup, but the winner of this tournament automatically gets that Olympic spot in Paris 2024. Canada's women's national team on One Soccer is brought to you by the Toyota Corolla family.
A lot has changed since you got your last perfect vehicle. You met someone. You got a dog. Your best friend met someone too. You got new interests. A new hobby. You felt a little more adventurous. You found a bigger hobby. You explored a little more. You needed a vehicle that reflected the new you. You found it. The all-new Toyota Corolla Cross. Your new perfect.
A new era for Canadian soccer begins today. Experience the emotion of every match. Watch all the highlights, the breaking news, the best debates, and analysis. And all the information about the Canadian stars playing abroad. Get access to the best of Canadian soccer from any device. Join the new dawn of an unstoppable game. See the rise on onesoccer.ca.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. Carbs to help fuel your working muscles. And fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
I do this for my town, my time, my time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
The Summer of Soccer has a sensational lineup. Beginning July 4th, Canada's women's national team looks to qualify for the 2024 Olympics. The 2022 Canadian Championship Final will determine who will lift the coveted Voyageurs Cup, while the Canadian Premier League continues its march towards October's playoffs. All this as Canada's men's national team continues preparation for the World Cup in Qatar. This summer, one channel, one soccer.
Welcome to Allstate. Here, we know you have a few reasons to slow down. But we've got one more. Safe drivers save 30% with DriveWise. The safer you drive, the more you save with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
This broadcast of Canada Soccer's national teams is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
It is time to crown a champion in Monterrey. The Concacaf W Championship Final live from Guadalupe. And who else would it be? It is Canada and the United States of America, with Olympic redemption for the U.S. and Olympic qualification for both on the line. A couple of absolute legends of the women's national team game, including Canada's Kaylin Kyle, bringing out the W Championship trophy. Canada hoping to hoist it for the third time in their history. In order to do so, they are going to have to get by their arch rivals. It is by far the best matchup in the region. Winners of their respective groups not conceding all the way through for the Canadians. The Americans were absolutely near impossible to break down in their group stage portion, as well as a comfortable 3-0 win for them in their semifinal. Everyone entering this tournament expected it to be the Stars and Stripes and the Maple Leaf. But if you ask this American side, they are not thinking about Tokyo, and one of the reasons why they're not thinking about Tokyo is that it is such a different team than we saw the Canadians take on at the Olympics. This is a side with eyes towards 2023, a little bit of youth, and still a whole lot of experience. Beth Priestman says this group always brings their A game when the matches matter most. Well, they do not get any bigger than this. Already punching their respective tickets to Australia and New Zealand in 2023, and now Canada trying to do something that they have not done in 20 years, and that is beat the Americans in consecutive matches. They broke a long winless streak against the US when they finally got over them in that famous Olympic semifinal. A 36-match winless run was broken, and now they're trying to prove to both the Americans, CONCACAF, and the rest of the world that this is still a nation that refuses to be beat when it matters the most. It is a beautiful night in Monterey, 30 degrees at kickoff, and a pretty good turnout, a bit better at least than it was in the semifinal of the group stage. And where else would you rather be if you're a supporter of football in this area than watching two of the absolute giants of CONCACAF go head to head? It is always such an interesting dynamic when these sides meet. You have former college teammates, you have current domestic club teammates that know each other better than absolutely anybody. They train together pretty much every waking minute of their professional career, but when it comes to representing their countries, well, the friendships, they are parked. The physicality, the hostility, and the sheer will to win are on display. Nobody wants to be beaten by their neighbor, especially with so much on the line. Just over half an hour ago, Jamaica defeated Costa Rica 1-0 in extra time to get to the Olympic qualifying play-in series, a home and away that will take place in September of 2023. The loser of this match will have to try and defeat the Reggae Girls should they want to go to Paris. So much on the line, fantastic atmosphere. Skip Marley bringing the house down to get things started. And with the pyrotechnics and the pre-match ceremonies well and truly on, we will take a quick step aside and return on the other side of that and bring you the starting 11s, Canada and the United States once again. We cannot wait, and it's next.
Damas y
Let's set this stage, and oh, what a stage it is. Canada and the United States of America. It is a history that has been heavily favored of our neighbors to the south from there in Canada. 62 matches played before. Canada only 4 wins in that all-time fixture.